All right, so last week, obviously, the big news at GDC was the Vive. And I know that you may or may not have had a chance to try it yet, but the big news from them, obviously, was a release date. So does Oculus feel pressured now that there is an HMD, consumer-grade HMD with a release date?
I would just say we feel our own pressure, right? We've been sort of determined to launch consumer VR and deliver the best VR headset for a really long time, right? You saw Gear VR we announced the release date for Gear VR consumer later this year. John did that at GDC. And with the Rift, our team just wants to launch this thing as soon as we possibly can, but with no compromises, right? And that's really been the key for us is we want to make sure we're delivering the absolute best product at the right time. We're moving as fast as we can. We promise it'll be worth the wait.
It also doesn't add more pressure, mostly because there could not possibly be more pressure anyway.
I think he's right.
It's not. Competitors are always going to pop out. We like it when other people get involved. The more people there are making VR headsets, the more content there's going to be. The more game developers can be sure that they're going to make money making VR games, and that's going to help everybody. So people are always going to continually enter, but we're already under a lot of internal pressure. We just want to launch this thing. We want to get it out as quickly as we can.
Pressure from Paul down there. He wants us to launch.
I was going to say, as not an employee of Oculus, I'm allowed to give you guys credit for shipping the most VR headsets of all time already. So it's a pretty good position to be in.
Well, and also people like Paul, they got to make money. It's all about the money. And we're under pressure, not just there's this idea that there's external pressure from other people releasing headsets. That's not where the pressure comes from. The pressure comes from the people you've been working with for years that are saying, I want to release this game. I want people to play this thing. And that hasn't changed at all, except that they're more excited about being able to make money in VR.
Yeah, and I would just add to what Palmer said before and just re-emphasize that it is pretty awesome coming out of GDC, the additional number of developers who are like, I'm in, I'm quitting my job, I'm doing VR. HTC has shown up, Sony with Morpheus, Oculus, you guys are doing your thing. Now that we have a lot of VR headsets out there, plus Gear VR obviously, that really increases the addressable market for devs. And ultimately with Gen 1 of the Rift, our goal is to make developers successful. If we do that, there will be all this awesome content, all this awesome made for VR content that shows up. Rising tide lifts all boats. As long as VR takes off, I think Oculus is in a great position. And so we're super excited about that. And congrats to the HTC and Valve team and the Morpheus team on their announcements because they were awesome.